It never crossed my mind when God gave me begging for $1 billion that I would have so many people trying to steal my identity and steal my life for money. The overwhelming disappointment and hurt that wells up in my soul when I think about people who kill other people as a profession to take what they have. You're no different from the slave owners. And I know I said it before that maybe this was why God allowed melanated people to go through slavery. Maybe we were doing some really evil, wicked things. And the things that you all are doing are evil and wicked too. I don't want to be too curious because when I get too curious, God will, I don't want to blame it on God. I don't know how it happens. I end up in situations that put me too close. And I'm trying to get away, away, away from people like you all. There's just so many of you. And I didn't know this was a thing. I was entertaining so many people and so many houses and tubs and sofas and beds. And it never dawned on me that I was laying in the bed of soul sellers, on the couch of soul sellers. I feel rich being able to share liberating information with people. It really just makes my soul feel happy. And I don't understand the hurt that you have gone through that puts you in a position to say, yes, I'll sell my soul. I'll kill this person for this amount of money. I'll do death magic for this amount of money. I just know you got to be really, really effed up to do those type things. And it just almost makes me want to pray for you, but to pray for you is to like work against myself. And as my only business partner in life would say, Lee, that's hustling backwards. That's Donald Ross of Liberty City Poke and Bean Projects. And we don't hustle backwards around here, not intentionally. And Friday the 13th just rolled out. And I don't know. I just have spent so much time trying to save people. And the Bible says that the poor will be with us always. And I just keep thinking, but God, do they really have to be with us? I mean, there's enough resources for everybody to be rich. According to Dr. Jewel Pookrum, Pookrum, abundance is the natural order of the universe. And I'm thankful to God because I like to tell people, when you look outside, point to something that the devil made. You can't point to nothing that the devil made. Not a thing. And it seems easy and simple enough. But the Bible also says that in the end time, and I'm paraphrasing, okay, men will become lovers of themselves. And so I guess that's the real disease. That's the real disease. Now, for some reason, I keep heavily seeing Letitia Karima Penn. And today I saw Miss Lourdes, her mama, at the bus depot. And I'm like, now, wait a minute. Something is going on. And I don't know what it is. I try to stay out of crosshairs because, I'm trying to live my little life and learn as much as possible and use 90% of my brain instead of 10, which they say we use on average, and be a good steward of what God has gifted me. and be obedient, more importantly, because without obedience, man, please, you'll get caught slipping. And I mean, there's so many vultures around here. It's like, whoa. I've never really sat down to watch those shows, The Living Dead and the zombie apocalypse and all of that. But I see it now. Like, what? You sold your soul for what? A car? Like, maybe they think it's a game. Maybe they think it's not real. But it's just really, really sad that we are in such downtrodden positions that we cave so quickly. And I guess that's really reflectant of the fact that allegedly, because I wasn't there during slavery, they killed off the wise ones, all of the soothsayers, sages, witch doctors, however you want to term it, and all the elderly people, because that's where you get your example on how to handle hard times. You know, you get all mad with your girlfriend, you make a mistake and slap that bitch, and you got to run over there to your grandmama's house, because Big Mama going to know what to do. My dear going to know what to do. She can calm it all down. Ain't no police called. Ain't nobody going to jail. You ain't got to lose your job, your children, your house, your car. And it's almost like, excuse me, the spirit of Medea has left the building. Big Pa has left the building. And your parasympathetic, okay, am I not supposed to talk about that? Am I taking it too far? Sometimes I get a little arrogant and erudite in my conversation, and God will be like, see, there you go, trying to show off. I just need you to give a simple message, and you want to get all in your id and ego. And so I think God tries to confound my tongue. So is that what it is this time, God? No, it's the haters outside. Okay, it's 4:35 p.m. But you know, these warlocks and witches that pursue me, they don't just do they thing 3 to 4 o'clock. They be like round the clock. I don't know. I think ICE has come through here and they've moved, but they just, they'll go away for a little bit, shift position, go to another block, or pay somebody to be inside their house, but they are less conspicuous, but they still be present over money. I'm like, damn, if you could be watching and stalking somebody all day, every day for a couple of months, think of all the money you could have made if you would have, got your hustle on. And it's just despicable. If you all are in this line of work, I think you're just really pitiful. And I'm sure your mama think you're really pitiful, and your daddy think you're really pitiful, and your grandmama and your granddaddy. You're letting down your whole lineage. But you probably don't care. You weren't really trying to break no generational curses off of your bloodline anyway, so that your grandchildren or your great-great-grandchildren could come back at a higher ranking. You don't believe any of that. And even if it is true, you don't even care about that shit. You probably sacrificed your mama to get into whatever kind of, arrangement you're in. And I remember when I was like 26 and the devil used to trick me. I was heavily into fasting and trying to take hold of my life because I had such great visions and plans. And, I'm going to go to New York and do this and do that. And I went, but shit, my people drugged me back down. My brother and my mother. I would call them and tell them what a great time I was having in the park, Marcus Garvey Park, which is a part of Prospect Park. And they would have these drumming circles, and man, just to be in the midst of that vibration, to feel those men hitting the drums and the way it felt in my soul. It was just like one time I was just crying. Tears were just coming because it was just like, it was healing me just to feel the vibration. And I couldn't understand what was happening. I didn't know anything about energy. I didn't know anything about those singing bowls or vibrations. And I was just like, wow, I just let myself go. And I was just dancing and moving, and my body just knew what to do. And I ran back to my room and called my mom, and I was so excited. And she was like, Aileen, please come home. Please come back, please. And I was like, what is wrong with her? I'm telling her the wonderful things that are happening to me, and she's begging me to come back. It didn't make sense to me. Then my brother would get on the phone. You so stupid. You don't know nobody up there. You need to bring your stupid behind back. And it was like an idiot, like a slave. I got on the plane and brought myself back to captivity. And here I sit in Tampa, Florida. I was so free in New York. Everything was flowing. I was going to be starting teaching, and I was going to be working at Emmaus House, making $600 a week as a part-time job. So you're talking about in 2000, $70,000 a year is what I was going to be making. And so I was going to be rolling in the dough. I had no real responsibilities. And I still don't understand to this day why they thought it was a great idea for me to come back, other than I am the battery. They used my energy to make their life great. And here I sit with one tooth at the top of my head, scraggly, thinning hair, warehouse hands and feet, $0 in my pocket because I said, yes, I will sacrifice myself for you. Now, I didn't know that's what I was saying, but obviously, why would you leave a strong position for a weak one? I said, Ma, why would you want me to come back there when you know when I come back to Tampa, I'm going to be on some corner with a picket sign and the police and them going to be trying to kill me? She ain't have nothing to say. So did she want me dead? Now you're talking about 25 plus years ago. I can see what I didn't see then. My emotions were all just jumbled up. I get off the phone and cry. And I had no guidance because, for most of my life, my dogs have been my best friends. And occasionally I would run into a human that I could consider a best friend. Sharon, Elizabeth, Kathy, and let me see. Who's still alive? Sharon's still alive. Only one of the three is still alive. I hope she's still alive. And I'm praying for her because it seems like whoever has been pursuing me all of my life strategically took out my support system. And I'm assuming with dark magic, wicked magic, whatever it's called. So I just really want so bad for everybody to feel good about their life and to feel good about growth and to feel good about healing most importantly, and to be able to walk away. I meant, sell that house. It ain't nothing but a burden. For the most part, we got to change our mindset, really. And I was trained the same way you were. Oh, go get a degree, get a good job, go get the American dream, the house, 2-story house, usually, the car, the husband, the 2.5 kids, and a dog, right? And really what it is bondage. It's just like, you're sharecropping, because if you get sick, you still got to get up and drag yourself to work, because you can't afford to lose that job. If you lose that job, you lose that house. You lose that house, you lose that husband. And your children are going to be where? All stretched out, and so it just feels like a lesser form of slavery. And I think what we need to do really nowadays, there's somebody in your house, in your family, that already has a house that's paid for. See if you can rent a room, remodel, add a bathroom and a deck so that you have your own private entrance, and stay with them until you can save up. You, your husband, your kid, the dog, save up enough money to buy you a house cash. Now you're truly living. That's the American dream. You have your own house, and it can be a starter house. It ain't got to be, your 2-story, 3,300 feet stretch. But you own it. And maybe you want to stay on with your people and rent it out or make it Airbnb and stack some more cash, Because if you release this whole concept of this American dream and write the dream the way you want it to be, then that's how you free yourself. They sold us a dream. It was somebody else's dream, but it sure keeps the bankers happy, because what happens most of the time is you're buying these houses recently and it's just glorified renting. You put down your $20,000 or whatever, right? It's a real pimp game. You stay there. You didn't look at the fine print, so the next year you got balloon payments. So now the real tragedy and misery sets in. So now you got to pay another $500 to $1,000. Where you gonna get it from? Because y'all already stretched out. You got to move another family member in, or you might, think of some creative ways to make some money. Sell your soul, sell something else that's going to get you put in some problems. And it's just really unfortunate that we allow other people to script our minds, and we give up our whole soul. And if you give up your soul, everybody that depends on you is hanging in the balance. Now, I don't know much about these groups, but from what I'm hearing and the little bit that I hear about from the music industry is that they going to take somebody. Now, that first year might be great and popping. They give you that check, woohoo! And like a fool, instead of you go buying a piece of house cash, you go buy some bling bling to put on your neck, your arm, your wrist. Some old drabby pieces of rags. I don't care if it's got, name brands on it or not. Once it leaves the store and you dry clean it or wash it, that ain't nothing but a rag. And now you're feeling like, well, that felt good for a minute, but it wasn't really all of that. But it's too late now. Year 2, year 3, you got obligations. So when they hit you up and say, hey, man, we need a favor, it's your turn, and you ain't willing to do what they told you got to do. But now you got to do it, or they going to do you. Now, that's the way it's been explained to me, so I don't know. And we are so careless with our lives that we don't even ask about the fine print. I remember years ago, this had to be 2000 and I guess 3, because I don't think I was pregnant with the twins. Let me see. I left the university at 1999. I lost my job there in 1999. I wanted to become a homekeeper like Arlene Rippey, and Elizabeth Elliot. That Natalie Renee Carnegie. Oof, child, please. I was living life loosely living for my friend, Natalie. And she's like, Aileen, if we do this, then we can, do your program that you want to do and do this and open the dojo and Sensei's gonna teach and all of this. So I said, girl, I ain't hooking up with nobody named East. What is East? That's a direction. So without me going and visiting his people or whatever, that definitely ain't happening for me. Now she willing to throw caution to the wind and just jump into something. But she probably had already sold her soul, which is not. I did not know. I knew she had said to me she was going to see some lady in St. Peter something. And she was saying the lady's legs were cracking all open and stuff. And I'm like, well, if she know how to get things done, why she can't help her own health? But I didn't know about, when you do certain things, you got to pay. You got to pay with your own health, with the health of somebody near you. You got to pay. And so I was like, no, I ain't going over there messing around with them people. For what? And I didn't really understand what was happening. I didn't understand. I understand now, but look at all the years. And I mean, they drugged me. They been dragging me, using me as a battery. So now I look like a remnant. I look in the mirror and it's like, bitch, who are you? I don't even recognize myself. I mean, they done sucked so much from me. And they plan to end my natural life. It's just that my simple ass finally caught on. And I'm like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Are you serious? God, did you know about this? He like, fool, I've been trying to talk to you for decades. You finally see, huh? Okay, well, let me tell you how to maneuver this. And I listen. But Sensei and Natalie were talking about let's go try Ibogaine. Ibogaine is supposed to be some herb in Africa that will help you get rid of your trauma. If you're addicted to any drugs, it'll remove, your addictions. And Sensei's sister was on heroin real bad. Was she on heroin real bad? Well, I guess if you're on heroin, it is real bad. And I'm sitting up there like, they're like, the man, he's here. He's not going to be here long. When you do it, you have to be under 24/7 supervision. And I want to be strong and I want to be adventurous and I want to be, but I couldn't do it because I'm just like that. I don't put too much in my body knowingly. I'm a pretty simple person where that is concerned. And I said no. Only for me to find out later all the plans that they had for me. Well, Natalie, I don't know if Sensei started out with plans to take advantage of me. I didn't feel like he had that in mind for me, but I don't know. So I'm just very grateful and thankful that I'm scary. And I keep thinking of this one time I've always been health conscious for the most part, body conscious, because, I used to feel like I'm going to eat what I want to eat and exercise. That's just the way I am because, I like good food. And ain't no sense in telling me about no cut back on salt and fried this and this. Nah. Because if it don't taste good, ain't no sense in me eating it. Give me a couple of vitamins, let me pop it in my mouth and, go to bed. I don't want to be chewing on something and it tastes like sawdust. You want to get up here, Dad? Come on. Yeah, they up there moving around, Luna. We got to get us some more medicine for them so we can get them on away from here. So, everybody that has been blessed to have a body, you're really a superstar. You came here a star. I'm going to say a star. You came here to be great. And I'm really, really sad that so many things happened to you that you were not able to find your divinity. You weren't able to find your greatness. And that's really unfortunate. I don't think it's too late. I think if you beg of God, God can redeem you from anything. They taught me long time ago in church at Allen Temple African Methodist Episcopal Church. This was when we were on Low Street. That if you belong to the Father, nobody can pluck him from your hand. Now, if you walk away because you're confused or, excuse me, you're wanting to go and seek out another religion, I don't really know how that works, but I have left the Christian church to go and try the Nation of Islam and the Sunni Muslim church, Scientology. I think that was a Greek Orthodox church we went to a couple of times, and then the Latter-day Saints on campus back in the day. There was another church. I've tried a lot, just trying to get some peace in my soul, understanding of who's running things. Go back. You can't get up there, Luna. You got wings? Have to buy the dog a Red Bull so she can fly up in the ceiling. And well, let me close this out. What I'm trying to say. Beg of God. Beg of God. If there's anything that you're going to take a chance on, I'm telling you, that's where you want to put it. Beg of God. Everything else is pretty much a facade. We live in a facade. And I guess that's why God, did God challenge me to do that? See, I'm doing it again. I'm supposed to be wrapping up. Okay. So I did want to share this one time I was fasting. Hold on, Mama. I'll get you some water. Don't tear that up. And somebody offered me a Snicker bar or something, and I was like, no, thank you. And I don't know if I ended up with it. I ended up with it, but it was haunting me, and I could hear the conversation. He was like, one bite ain't gonna cause no problems. And I didn't know that was the voice of the devil at the time. And I said, nah, I'm fasting. And then I thought back. Instead of resisting the devil at the onset, I thought back. And I could taste the Snicker in my mouth. And so I said, yeah, I'm going to just take one bite. Well, you know what happened after the one bite? I devoured the whole candy bar. And then it's like I heard laughing like, aha. And I felt so terrible to be bamboozled by what I believed to be was the devil. It bothered me for a long time, and I cried and I said, God, you got to give me the strength to be able to say no. And I struggled with that thing for a long time because when you're young, your hormones are raging, and they teach you that fornicating is bad if you're not married. And I was never married. God tried to give me that 4-day trip, you know, and I didn't say I do right away. And man, did I make a mistake. So this is my 40-year trek right here. And I mean, they done drug this sister. And I said, okay, God, I'll be your flunky. I'll be your remnant. And people look at me and they laugh. And sometimes I don't even have two of the same matching socks. The other day, I went up to the church. I had on a black sock and a white sock. And I went on anyway because I have to get my goals accomplished. I can't allow, frivolous things like, you know, I can't find the second sock to stop me. And I'm just thankful to finally be learning. They have an expression and it goes like this: better late than never. So take that and smoke it.